right? Are we in the correct one? Let me just double cross check. Yep. Okay, here. Now, you already have these books, and I actually provide you chapter 1, chapter 2, all the way until chapter 5 notes lah. Okay. Huh? No, this is an English class here. Mandarin one is actually 4 o'clock. Hi, okay. Apa lalu cakap? Okay, hey, what are you saying, huh? Tak mau cakap English. Huh? Now, here. Anyway, so the chapter 1 and the chapter 2, okay. Chapter 1 and the chapter 2, I will just put it first. I would like to go through with you chapter 3 and chapter 4. Okay, chapter 3 and chapter 4. Because I found that you all have a problem in the things that maybe you have read your textbook, or maybe you have read the notes, maybe you already try to memorize. But when you look at the questions, you don't know how to apply. All right. Now, let me just do a very quick, in case you have nothing in your brain. All right. Now, first, your format. Right. First thing, format. Exam format is what? I think by this time you should have a clear idea on that lah. Right. Your exam format split into A, B, and C. Right. A is a 20 objective. B is actually 3 question of subjective. And C is gonna be 4 question. Choose 2. 4 question, choose 2 questions. Okay. Huh? You run away already, ah? Yeah. Now, and then for chapter 3, actually chapter 3, chapter 4, and chapter 5, they are a little bit relation. Okay? A little bit relation. Now, for chapter 3, they are talking about pengaruh persekitaran fizikal. When you see the word pengaruh persekitaran fizikal, right, means how the natural environment affects the plants and animal. So sometimes question may also replace this word by saying that nyatakan faktor fizikal. Pengaruh faktor fizikal, right? Or bagaimanakah persekitaran fizikal mempengaruhi tumbuh-tumbuhan semula jadi. But they are the one that they are actually trying to ask the same thing. Now, and you know that sometimes question may ask in this way, right? Oh, factor physical. How many factor physical we have? We do have 4. Okay, factor physical, yeah. Every time factor physical have 4, which is you have a bentuk muka bumi, the landscape. Different landscape, okay, different landscape suitable for different plants and animals. And not only landscape, the source of water, saliran, will also affect the plants and animals, right? Further follow with iklim and tani. Now, so be aware that exam may ask you in this way, means like especially bahagian C, they may ask you, bagaimanakah? Like how? Okay, bagaimanakah bentuk muka bumi mempengaruhi tumbuh-tumbuhan di atas? Bagaimanakah saliran mempengaruhi aktiviti di atas? Apakah atau bagaimanakah iklim mempengaruhi tumbuh-tumbuhan hidupan liar di atas? Now, and this is going to be a similar with your chapter 4. They will have a related questions. Now, and then if they only ask you to explain bentuk muka bumi, okay? Now, just to tell you, yeah, if they ask you to explain bentuk muka bumi, how? Then you got to say, oh, tanah pama. Yeah, tanah pama. The keyword is what? Tanah pama yang luas. Okay, very wide. Sesuai untuk menjadi habitat. Semula jadi kepada pelbagai hidupan liar. Why? Kerana terdapat banyak sumber makanan. Right? And then you will follow with your answer. Like contohnya tumbuh-tumbuhan yang ditumbuh ialah hutan hujan tropika, hutan monsun tropika, hutan conifer, hutan Mediterranean. This is when they ask you to explain bentuk muka bumi. Of course, it's not only tanah Pama. We do have what? Tanah tinggi. Now, what can you talk about tanah tinggi? Oh, tanah tinggi merupakan kawasan yang melebihi 180 meter dari aras laut. Alright, and then you can see tumbuh-tumbuhan akan berubah-ubah mengikut ketinggian. Right, and then same, you can say lah contohnya the plants, the animals. Right, contohnya the plants, the animals. All right. Now then, any other landscape we have? Pinggir laut. So you gotta depends on the question to answer. Like let's say, you tell me pinggir laut yang berpulau or yang pantai berpasir, yang pantai berlumpur. Okay, or pinggir laut that mempunyai paya air masin. Okay, they will encourage the growth of certain hutan, right? Certain area. Now, in the end, we do have another one. You can say tumbuh-tumbuhan tahan air, tahan tiupan angin. Okay, this is how you explain the landscape. All right, Ken, are you good? So I'm gonna show you one example on how to answer. Right, you may find, I think you just take a piece of papers or you write in your books. Okay, find an empty place lah. Okay, just an example. Contoh soalan. Right, this is an essay question where they ask you, okay, bagaimanakah, okay, bagaimanakah faktor fisikal bentuk muka bumi? Okay, how faktor fisikal bentuk muka bumi mempengaruhi? Uh, I'm not sure. Uh, I'm not sure though, Marcus. Maybe you can come in to listen first, and then while your teacher is in, then you can go back to the class. I'm not sure, because she didn't make any announcement though. Yeah. Never mind, let me have a look on that. Is so there's no yeah, she didn't do any announcement, so probably have. If you don't mind, you listen first, and then later when your teacher came back, and then you go back to the class also can. All right? Yeah. Cause I really got no idea on that. Wait, let me have a look. Oh, okay. Never mind. Now, so come back here. Yeah, let's continue with it. Now, so bagaimana faktor fisikal bentuk muka bumi mempengaruhi tumbuh-tumbuhan dan hidupan liar? Now, be aware about this, yeah. Now, if question only said like this, they didn't specify that, oh, hutan di atas, tumbuh-tumbuhan di atas, hidupan liar tersebut, right? Means they are general. They want you to explain in general. Then you can say that, okay, bentuk muka bumi, am I right? So you gotta mention that, okay, bentuk muka bumi, we have tanah pama. So we can say tanah pama. This is your answer, ya. Tanah pama yang luas. Okay, sesuai. Menjadi habitat. It is suitable to become a habitat. pelbagai hidupan liar. All right, so you can see it. Then your example, you got to say the second sentence, yeah. Pelbagai hidupan liar, then what happened? Then you can say that contoh, contoh tumbuhan, or you can say tumbuhan mengalahkan, sorry, bentuk muka bumi ini atau tanah hama mengalahkan pertumbuhan hutan, hujan tropika, hutan monsun tropika, dan hutan konif. All right. Now, this one you will gain like 2 marks because they ask you to explain bentuk muka bumi. So you won't stop at one bentuk muka bumi, then you will further with the next one. All right. So you can say that selain itu tanah tinggi. Okay, tanah tinggi. Which with what characteristic? Okay, you can say yang melebihi 180 meter dari aras laut. Okay, then what happened? Oh, mengalahkan pertumbuhan. Now, in this situation, right, you got to be careful. If the top one mentioned the Malaysia, then you can straight away say hutan gunung. If this is not mentioned in Malaysia, they just ask you bentuk muka bumi, then probably you got to explain about the name of the plant. Pertumbuhan periuk kera, pertumbuhan paku pakis. All right. Can ya? Now, so periuk kera, paku pakis. Is it okay? I should do like this. Is it good? Mengalahkan pertumbuhan. Periuk kera, paku pakis. Now, and this is how, of course, you can also see lah. Contoh hidupan liar. What kind of animal we can find in tanah tinggi? Then you may say it. Example, what animals you can find on top? You can say example, beruang matahari, sun bear. Okay, and then with what? With leopard cat, tupai tanah merah, sorry, tupai tanah gunung Borneo, yes. Okay. You know, my brain cannot function in suddenly, okay? Leopard cat and block. Dan kata pokok. Inabaru. Now, then you may actually get around 4 marks for this. Funny name? No, it's not funny name. Give me a second, yeah. All right. Now, this is a way that how they explain. Well, of course, I give you 4 marks answer. Right? They might be very specific on the particular forest. All right. They may be very particular on the forest. So this is how you explain. If they ask you bentuk muka bumi, very specific. Now, of course, they can ask you bentuk muka bumi means they can also ask you saliran. Then how you answer for saliran? But just to tell you, yeah, I'm not gonna show you the question on saliran. I am just gonna explain to you how you explain. All right. So for saliran, we do have 2 types of saliran. We have the saliran baik and saliran buruk. All right. Then how you explain? You gotta tell me. Saliran baik means kawasan tidak bertakung air. Right? Normally merupakan kawasan yang subur, diliputi banyak tumbuh-tumbuhan. Then buruk will be opposite. Buruk will be, you can say that, oh, tanah rendah, which is sentiasa bertakung air, always flooded with water. Okay, always flooded with water. Understand? Always flooded with water. Now, when it's always flooded with water, when it's always flooded with water means what? Only certain plants can grow there. And what is the certain plants? The certain plants will be hutan paya air masin, hutan paya air tawa. Okay, paya air masin, paya air tawa. Now, of course, I'm going to show you a rough, okay? Rough in how to write. Now, you may write in this way. So, if they ask you, jelaskan bagaimana, okay, bagaimana faktor saliran mempengaruhi tumbuh-tumbuhan dan hidupan liar. Or even they may ask you to jelaskan faktor saliran. It's the same, it's similar things. Okay, it's a similar things. Alright, then your explain will be, oh, saliran terdiri daripada, if a 4 marks question ya, or 6 marks. So you tell me they are terdiri daripada saliran baik and saliran buruk. Okay, this is how you're gonna answer, and then you start to explain what is baik, what is buruk. Okay, so you can say bersaliran baik. Okay, merupakan kawasan yang tidak bertakung air. Okay, kawasan yang tidak bertakung air. Right? So you can see it. So kawasan ini, what happened? Mengalahkan, okay, pertumbuhan. Our forest is actually in kawasan yang bersaliran baik. You can see loh. The more area in short, hutan hujan tropika, hutan monsoon tropika, hutan conifer. Alright, then you follow with your saliran buruk. So you can see kawasan saliran buruk pula. Alright, merupakan opposite loh. Merupakan kawasan yang sentiasa bertakung air. All right, and then we further with your explanation, then you can see it. You can further to see it. Contoh tumbuhan di kawasan ini ialah hutan paya air tawar dan hutan paya air masin. Exam right in full, yeah? I'm just gonna show you roughly how it show. All right. Now, and then what you can do, you can further, if this is a 6 marks, I give you 4 marks, yeah? If this is a 6 marks question, then you give them some other example on animals. All right. Now, this is how they ask you if they ask by factors. Now, of course, they may also ask you with iklim, yeah, and we learn 4 iklim in this area: monsoon tropika, Siberia, gurun panas, and Laurentian. Okay, now And of course, they have a lot of keywords, but you may remember in this way. Normally, they will ask you, they don't ask you to explain everything. Okay, they will have very particular on what forest and ask you to fit in your answer. All right, so you will have monsoon tropica. Monsoon tropica is actually encourage the growth of hutan monsoon tropica. All right, now here, yeah, if they ask you how iklim monsoon tropica or iklim affects monsoon tropica, then you say, first, this is a iklim monsoon tropica. Now you see, to affect the plants and animals, right? Normally, the main very important things that very directly relate is what? The water and the sunlight. So you may memorize this, all right? You count that. The mean suhu and the hujan. This is the one that very directly to affect the plants and animals. All right. Now, of course, if you have extra time, you can memorize the leftover. So, iklim monsoon tropica, mean suhu. What is mean again? Mean means average. They have an average 24 to 27 degrees Celsius. All right. And with the rain, 1,000 to 2,000. This is normally how you gain your 2 marks or 3 marks. 2 marks is for the Hawaiian, 3 marks means come with the name. All right. And then you have Siberia. You learned Siberia like last year, right? It's a very cold area. Cold area. So you see how they affect the plants and animal? You can say, because their rain, kepasan harian, kepasan tahunan. Kepasan means the rainfall. The rainfall is around 500. All right. And then musim sejuk salji. That's why you have hutan conifer. That's why the hutan conifer grows there because of rainfall. Very little rainfall, and then they have a very snow. They are snowy. They actually snow in the winter. That's why they have such a plant. And of course, you may also explain about the temperature. They have a long winter, right? They have a long winter. Now, they have a long winter, less rain. That's why I encourage the growth of hutan conifer. Now, for hutan gurun panas, you learn gurun panas before. Okay, you learn that. Now, gurun panas for iklim gurun panas is for gurun panas. And they might ask you why. Why the certain plants and animal live in gurun panas? Then you may say it because lesser rain. Okay, for gurun panas, right? Normally you could talk about the day and night. Day, very hot, 32 to 36. Night, very cold, around 5 degrees Celsius. And this is how, affects the plant. Why there's only cactus? Because the rain is very little. Okay. Why the animals are not active? Because very hot. All right. And then the last will be what? Laurentia. Laurentia, right, normally will affect hutan. Huh? What happened to your Zoom? You using, are you using phone or you using laptop? Laptop. Clash. Maybe are you opening a lot of tabs? I think they are just the Zoom have some malfunctions a little bit. Hello. You close that tab, please. Too many tabs already. Of course, they will be in clash. Hey, Seminar, can you close Roblox first? Are you serious? Maybe you close up tab, okay? If they show cache not responding, probably it's either the internet or too many tabs on your device. That's why they cannot function properly. Okay. So yeah. Now, so come back here. Are you guys still alive? Cause yours seems like a bit what? Dead already. Marching. You are just tired from Coco. Okay. Still alive, yeah. Thank you. Hey, wait. Where's your friends? Why I don't see some of your friends is like missing? All right. But anyway, let me just continue. Yeah, where's your best friend? What to go bed to work? Oh, okay. Now, so and then hutan daun luro leh. Daun luro is actually live in the iklim Laurentia. And Laurentia, same. Laurentia and Siberia, they have a similar thing, means they have a four season. Same, you can explain about Sauji turun pada musim sejuk. Alright. And then they have a julat suhu, or you may tell about the rain. Normally, most commonly, you can say about the number of the rain. Okay, and winter, they will be Sauji, right? To explain. And then we contoh tumbuh-tumbuhan at the back, right? And then come here's already Tani. Now, Tani, right? A lot of people may have the doubts on like this because if you really that I show you, hutan hujan tropika, hutan monsoon tropika are both latoso. But chapter 4 tell you some other things, right? Be that chapter 4 tell you what? Chapter 4 tell you that, oh, hutan hujan tropika use what, Tani? Anyone remember? Alluvium and Tani laterite. So here just to tell you a little bit, if you have both chapter 3 and chapter 4 exam, then if they ask you, jelaskan tani di hutan hujan tropika, are you gonna write latoso or are you gonna write alluvium and laterite? What you mean both? No. Normally, when they talks about hutan hujan tropika, prioritize to write this. Because chapter 4, normally, they ask you hutan hujan tropika will be the chapter 4 story. All right, chapter 4. Then they will actually expect you to write Tani alluvium and Tani rectory. Okay, if this is a hutan monsoon tropika, they ask you about monsoon tropika, then you answer latoso. Okay, why? It's because normally hutan hujan tropika will be lesser show. I mean, they have lesser question in hutan hujan tropika. They will normally put it with chapter 4. All right. Then what is latoso? Then you explain. They have a texture tani yang berpasir, liat, berwarna merah kuning. So what happened? Oh, suitable, sesuai untuk tumbuh. Or you can say tumbuh-tumbuhan tumbuh dengan padat dan tinggi. And then menjadi habitat berbagai jenis hidupan liar. Right? And potzo, the keyword is this. Nipis berasid berku. Akar pendek. Why? Because it's freezing. All right. And then, so what happened? Encourage the growth of hutan conifers. All right. And terra rosa and permafrost is quite rare to ask you. Quite rare. What I mean is quite rare is they only can ask you about Tani actually for hutan tundra. All right. So when they ask you permafrost, then must be hutan tundra already. And hutan tundra is only shown in this part only throughout your whole Form 3 syllabus. Only in these sections, subtopics. All right. Same goes with your padang rumput. They only exist in these subtopics. So means most of the time, the most commonly asked for Tani is Potzo and Aritiso. All right. Now, and then Potzo and Aritiso is both terbalik. Potzo is a cold area. That's why akar yang pendek. Aritiso is for gurun panas. very hot. So, akar panjang. Okay. And then, pasir kurang kering dan tandus. Very dry. Okay. Hence, animals less active in the daytime. All right. Now, and then for the Terra Rosa, that one, I'm just gonna put it aside first, and let me show you another way of the question asking. All right. Other than just now I say, oh, ask you to explain particular like bentuk muka bumi only, ask you to explain tani only, iklim only. They might also came this way. All right. You can go down to the questions um like this way. Question 6. Sorry, not question 6. Question 5. Question 6. Okay. Yeah, question 6 or this what is that? Question 7. Right? Page 17. Now, you see, this question they tell you, gambar berikut. Read sometime, yeah. I know sometimes the picture was not clear in the exam. Don't panic. Read the question, read the title, what they say. They say, gambar berikut menunjukkan hutan iklim Siberia. By this, Siberia, cold or hot? Oh, a very cold area. But not all the teacher will actually answer you. All right, a very cold area. So think of it. What kind of forest it is? Cold area. Cold means it gonna be snow. What kind of plants? Yes, conifer. Why? Snow. That's why your plants look this way to prevent the snow stuck on top of tree. Right? It's snowy. And this kind of tree. So conifer. And where can we find conifer? Two lokasi. Ah. What is the location for conifer? Uh, be detailed a little bit. This answer a bit crazy. I don't think your teacher accept. Russia, which part of Russia? Now, you can see not all the area that snow means conifer, yeah, dear. Yes, Uttara Asia. So you can say Uttara Asia. Dan Poland or Germany. Poland, Germany also can, okay? It's acceptable. Now, and then came already. Nyatakan dua jenis tumbuh-tumbuhan. Two types of plants we can find in Siberia. Does Canada count? Canada? Wait, Canada. Which part of Canada? Yes, pine tree, but a pine what, yeah? Pine merah. And then yes, the large tree. And birch tree, maple birch. Spruce? Spruce can, but yeah. Pine tree, pine merah, maple birch, and then dahurian larch. All right. A conifer is the name of the forest, and you don't write this whole things here because they say jenis tumbuh-tumbuhan, right? And then senaraikan dua contoh hidupan liar. Then what kind of animals we can find in Siberian? Very cold area. Penguin? No. Hello, Siberia is on the north areas. Yeah, mink, marten, lynx, harimau Siberia. Yes, berang kutub. Harimau Siberia, Siberian tiger, yeah. And then Siberian wolf, yes. All right. What goat? What fox? Don't simply guess your answer, please. Apalah ini, right? Yeah, and then you can write mink, marten, burung kutub. All right? No, don't write monkey, please. Apalah ini, right? Now, and come back here, you see, they might ask you the small one, and with this, jelaskan ciri iklim Siberia. What is the characteristic of a Siberia? Iklim or just iklim? Just now we said the most easy is what? The rainfall. So you can say Kerpasan tahunan. One word is not enough for your 4 marks. Okay, Kerpasan tahunan. Okay, how much leh? How much is the rainfall? Copy the answer from ABC? No. Yes, 500 mm. Right? Kepasan tahunan kira-kira 500 mm. And then follow with what? The temperatures. Or you gotta tell me, okay, salji turun pada musim sejuk. Right? It's salji. They have salji. They have snow during the winter time. And then, of course, you can further to say they have a long winter or short winter. And their winter, yeah, long winter. And their winter cold or very cold or not that cold. Very cold. Okay. Yes. Yes. Hello. Hey, please don't just write one word sejuk. I don't think your teacher gonna entertain you with the marks. Now, so here. Here I said that, okay? They have a musim sejuk yang panjang. Or you can say musim sejuk antara 6 bulan, 6 months, hingga 8 bulan. Alright, with the temperature dengan suhu, okay, -17 hingga -5. This is their winter. Right, and one more marks, you can also see that they have a very short musim bunga and musim luru. Alright. And of course, you can also see what? Jumlah suhu tahunan yang sangat besar. Of course, you just put your answer into a paragraph form. And this is how your 4 marks came. Is it okay? Yeah, let me know if you're done. Then I'm going to move on to the next questions. Done. All right. How about the rest? Are you good? Oh, good. Done copying. Okay, great. Don't fall asleep, yeah? I know you're after Coco very tired. Now, and see. In this also the same. You think you're about to fall asleep, I will slap you or slap you virtually. All right. Now, and Kim, just an extra one. And just an extra one. You just find an empty space and write it down. All right. Because I think you need more. example. Now, so let me just show you in this, okay? Let's say they give you a pictures. Okay, they give you a pictures, yeah. I just random draw, but I think you will know what it is. What plants is this? What? Okay, yes. So, question may ask, first ya, nyatakan jenis tumbuhan dalam gambar. Normally, this kind 1 marks. Okay. Then you will name that this is a cactus. Right? So, question may also ask that berikan dua contoh hidupan liar yang berada di kawasan ini. So, can you tell me about this? Contoh hidupan liar. What animals? Yes, unta. This is the answer, yeah. Unta and tikus jerboa. You spider. What kind of spider? Okay, jerboa. All right, let's laba laba. What donkey? Why got donkey one? No donkey there. Hello. Okay, tikus jerboa, unta, right? Musang, phoenix, and so on. Scorpion, yes. But what scorpion in Bahasa? That's important. If you don't know, then you just skip that, okay? Yeah. And then they might, bahagian B, this is a contoh for bahagian B. They might also ask you to, like just now, nyatakan dua contoh lokasi. Yes, kala jengking. Yes. Dua contoh lokasi, okay, yang bertumbuh tumbuhan dalam gambar. Come, what area? Qatar? Yes, Qatar. And then Arab Saudi Arabia. All right. Not Arab Bersatu. What's the full name? The full name is UAE. United. Yeah, let me translate. Oh, Emirat Arab Bersatu. Yeah, you need to have Emirat if you want to write that full. All right. And then you can also write Oman, Yemen, Jordan. All right. It can be your answer. Iraq, yes. Now, then they may ask you this way. Okay. Normally lah for this is gurun panas, right? Gurun panas normally they will ask you about iklim. So they will say bagaimanakah iklim mempengaruhi tumbuhan di atas. Then you must tell me first is what? What iklim it is. Okay, so you can say tumbuhan di atas bertumbuh, yes. Tumbuhan di atas bertumbuh di iklim gurun panas. I don't write full already, yeah. Bertumbuh di gurun panas. All right. And what is the characteristic on this? Yeah, say lo, bertumbuh di, sorry, iklim gurun panas. Right. And then you can say iklim gurun panas. The characteristic is menerima. Okay, menerima Jumlah hujan, what happened? Kurang daripada, how much? 200, 500 mm. Right? 250 mm. Now you can further link a little bit from what you learned in the previous, which is the tani. What is the characteristic of the plants? You can say, menyebabkan cactus berakar panjang untuk mencari air di bawah tanah. Alright, so you can slightly explain, relate a little bit, right? You can say menyebabkan, okay, cactus berakar panjang, okay, supaya dapat menyerap air di bawah tanah. Alright? Now, and then you can came with the temperatures. Alright? Of course, you can also talk about the angin, right? They have what? They have angin timuran. So you can say, they have angin timuran. Okay? In the east of the Arab is land. So you can say yang bertiup dari darat adalah kering, very dry. No rain, very dry. Okay, this is how you get the answer. And normally the red color part will have worth another marks, 4 marks. All right. And then same as I said, normally for gurun panas, they would like to ask you iklim or tani. So you can say same lor. Bagaimanakah tani, okay, mempengaruhi tumbuh-tumbuhan dan hidupan liar, tumbuhan dan hidupan liar di atas. Alright, is it okay? Can I? Then see, first you should tell that what example. What is tani for gurun panas? Aritiso, yes. Then you're gonna say that, oh, tani aritiso. Then what's the characteristic? What? Blue. Okay. Of course, yeah. Yes, Maria itu tani yang kering dan tandus. Now, so what happened? So you link with so what happened to the plant? So you can say only plant yang berakar panjang. Tumbuhan yang mempunyai akar yang panjang. Okay. Or you can say ciri-ciri tumbuh-tumbuhan di kawasan ini adalah akar yang panjang. Akar yang panjang for what? Supaya dapat okay, menyerap air di bawah tanah. All right. Or of course you can say what? Because of the tani, the area is very, very hot. So you can also say that hidupan liar di kawasan tersebut, what happened? Kurang aktif pada waktu siang. Because this area is very hot. Okay, so they will hanya aktif pada waktu malam untuk mencari makanan. All right. And this is the contour, like normally how they are. Of course, yeah. Just to tell you, yeah, I cannot guarantee are they gonna come out definitely hutan conifer or gurun panas. But this one is mostly like they came out most of the time, a lot. All right. Shall we move on to the next one? I think we should go through a little bit on chapter 4. Akar means roots, okay? The rest, are you good? Yeah? Yeah, then we move on. All right. Yeah, then let's go to chapter 4. All right, chapter 4, yeah? Now, oh yeah, one things, okay? One things, yeah. Cause I didn't do chapter 1 and chapter 2 revisions for this seminar. If you feel that you need chapter 1, chapter 2, okay, you may go to the TTC website. I mean not TTC, yeah, TTC website lah, okay. You may go to TTC website and then search the way, like same, you click on the what is that? You click on the seminar and then you click on the replay, they will bring you to the TTC official YouTube channel. And then from there, you can go to playlist and then go search geography. And then you go find the video form 3 2024. Okay, form 3 geography. I forgot the title already, but something here. Okay, form 3 geography 2024, and then with my name. Cause last year's seminar I do chapter 1 2. All right, if you need it, go towards it. And remember to bring your jangka sudut and jangka lukis and your pencil and your calculator to the exam. All right? Clear? Color pencil or not depends on you. To be artistic, no. Don't, I mean, for your graph bar, for your chata pie, don't draw the you label, then you label lah, okay? You don't mix some complicated things, okay? No need to be artistic, okay? Okay, don't waste your time in that, okay? Now, and then, you see, here we do have others. You draw rocket, I knock your head, all right? So you will realize, normally, okay, the example is all here already. You may use it when you need it, all right? Can you, what you mean? Easy ways to memorize all the tani and animals in hutan? The easiest way. Okay. For tani, right? Yes, we do have a lot. But the one that it commonly mentions, like I say, I draw the star for you, Potzo and the Aridiso. All right. Now, Potzo, you let me think. It's a bit hard. All right. Normally, I remember in this way. Like permafrost. Perma means permanent. Frost. Permafrost. Permanently froze. So in what Bhutan is very cold. You learn in Form 2, tundra, very, very cold. That's why permafrost. All right. Now, and terra rosa, you see, the way that you pronounce the word is not very Asian word, right? Terra rosa. This kind of like is it R S is from Mediterranean. Mediterranean is the southern of the Europe areas. All right. Now, and then Padang rumput, hawa sederhana. This one a bit tough for you to write. Yeah. Now, so for Chernosm, is the leftover one. All right, the leftover. There's no other things, right? Can normally are like that. Pozzo, Aridiso, this one you need to memorize because it's so important. They always ask. And Latoso, you can find the one that always asks is the one with so. Latoso, Pozzo, Aridiso. All right. So yeah. And then for the animals, actually, if you said to whether memorize or not, this one is very, but I mean, depends. Because first, it actually quite depends on your extra knowledge on like, do you interested in animals? Normally, I remember these, we are the characteristic of the animals. Okay. I don't teach you hutan tropika. Actually, hutan tropika and monsoon tropika, right? They share the similar plants and they share the similar animals because we are too near to each other. Conifer already tell you cone. So their plants will be cone shapes. Pine, fir, spruce is all cone shapes. All right. And then you're gonna think about it. Normally in the movie way or in the cartoon or in the drama, where you see a place that full with conifer trees, what animals will came out from there? Right? Your National Geographic. Normally you will see bear, all kind of bear, right? And then all kind of bird. All right. Deer, moose. Now, and then Mediterranean, Europe, right? What kind of plant? Rosemary, lavender. Animals, small animals or landak, right? Rusa. Hutan gunung, this one you need to memorize a bit with the chapter 4. Hutan pantai, the most easy one, I think you will know lah. Pokok kelapa, right? And then paya air masin, paya air tawa, pokok bakau. Tundra, very cold, no big tree, only small plant. Lichen, lumut. Gurun panas, the one that already in your brain for a long time ago, cactus. All right. And then the left two, you need to remember a little bit. With the name rumput or the glass. Normally, I will remember in this way, lah, right? I hope that it's helped. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. And this, chapter 4. Chapter 4 learn about what? Tumbuh-tumbuhan semula jadi di Malaysia. The natural plant in Malaysia. Okay, the natural plants in Malaysia. You couldn't find pokok ru. Pokok ru actually is the example in chapter 4. You want to write in hutan pantai also can. I mean, in chapter 3, hutan pantai doesn't matter, it's can, acceptable one. Don't worry. Pokok ru can, yeah? If you add some additional word behind that, I don't know, okay? All right. Yes, to that. Pokok ru, yeah? Don't write some others word behind, okay? Then teacher won't give you marks. Now, yeah, I know y'all love teacher rule you. That's why I say pokok rule, then you all want to add on some word behind. Huh? Okay, but did teacher rule you know that? But anyway, it must be show your friends. Okay. Now here. In Malaysia, we do have 5 types of forests. And same, they will ask you about their factor. Okay, their factor bentuk muka bumi, right? And this, right, is basically very similar with your chapter 3. Is I could see that it's like exactly your chapter 3, but it's only focused in Malaysian forest. All right. Now, so come back here, yeah. How many forests? 5. We have what? Hutan hujan tropika. Now, be aware. Chiri is important for chapter 4 because they may give you a pictures of the forest and then they ask you to name me the characteristic of the plants. All right. And what is the characteristic of hutan hujan tropika? Berlapis-lapis, malah hijau. Daun bersaiz lebar, hujung daun berbentuk tirus. All right. Now, and then what's the end? What's the plants? Cengah meranti tualang. If you don't like this plant, you can use the chapter 3 one, and you can say other answers. Okay, you can have others. Now, and then you have what? Paya. Paya air masin, paya air tawa. Be careful, a lot of people have a mistake here. Masin, what is masin? Salty. Right? Salty. Now, so salty means what? Air masin means seawater lah. So seawater, that's why your characteristic is pinggir pantai berlumpur. Right? When you see the word paya, paya in chapter 3 you already learned. Paya, the keyword is what? Petakung air. Definitely petakung air. You can use the word petakung air or you can use the word ditenggelami air. Flooded with water. Flooded with water. Right? Can? Now, then they have akar cenggang, akar ceraca. Now, how about paya air tawa? Same, the keyword is paya. Paya means takung air. So your characteristic, saliran buruk, takung air. But because they are air tawa, fresh water. Fresh water normally exists in river and lake. Then you could say that di tepi sungai, di tepi tasik. Ni seperti tasik. Alright, same, be aware. Paya air tawa is similar with your hutan hujan tropika. Why? Because both are berlapis-lapis. Right? And then they have their akar. You aware, yeah? Akar ceraca is to pernafasan. Akar cengkang is to menyokong pokok dari tumbang. So same goes with bani and jangkang. Right? Pneuma, tofo, and utara is to help them to breathe. Right? And this is the similar characteristic that they share. And then you have what? Hutan pantai. I already tell you pantai. So, berpasir. Saliran, baik. Right? And then you have hutan gunung. Hutan gunung, yeah. Must be above 1,200 meter. And they are berbeza mengikut ketinggian. Why? Because of the temperatures. All right. And hutan also have a few layers. All right. Now, and here, yeah, the important one that mainly, for your essay part, they will come out is to ask you kepentingan, kesan negative. All right. Kepentingan tumbuh-tumbuhan. Why tumbuh-tumbuhan is so important? Like I tell you that if they ask you important towards human, you write bahan mentah, you write perubatan. If they ask you kepentingan tumbuh-tumbuhan hutan hujan tropika or hutan monsoon tropika, or whatever hutan, then your answer is gonna tell me habitat and ecosystem. Right? Remember that time in the class, I do a slight summarize to you, like the kepentingan, the most general one, which is applicable to all the forests, is habitat and ecosystem. Okay? Now, Kenya, if they say to alam sekitar, habitat ecosystem, penting kepada manusia, perubatan dan bahan mentah. Now, then how about kesan positif and kesan negatif? Kesan positif, we did what? Pembangunan hutan, perhutanan semula, hutan simpanan kekal, taman negara. Sometimes they will tell you kesan positive. Or sometimes they will just ask you, what is the usaha? Pemulihara hutan. Okay, or even they ask you, what is the langkah? But be careful. This is langkah for pihak berkuasa, government able to do to protect the forest. But you will still use this for. All right. Now, how about negative? Maybe they will ask you kesan negative, or they will ask you kesan pembalakan. What's the effect on pembalakan? What is the effect on penyahutanan? What is the effect for penerokaan hutan? What will happen, right? Penerokaan hutan. Then you should tell me that, oh, ketidakseimbang ekosistem, kepupusan flora dan fauna, right? Hakisan tanah, tadahan hujan terganggu, right? Now, of course, tidak seimbang ecosystem and the kepupusan flora dan fauna is the one that general, very general answer. Means it's applicable to all the forests, most of the forests. All right. Now, let me show you how questions ask, okay? Now, go back. The multiple choice, you can try it on your own, yeah. It's not much. Here. Where is that? Just now I saw it. Yeah, this one. Come. Question 8. This, they ask you. Berdasarkan gambar 1, nyatakan jenis hutan X and Y. No idea? Then you look at this. They tell you in our country. Okay? Now, so look at it. What forest? When you see water, this is hutan paya. Okay, swamp. Because of this is pokok nipa. All right. Then, oh, paya air masin or paya air tawa. Right? This is a question where normally people confuse. Okay. Be confused on this. How to find this? Hutan paya. Right? Hutan paya, yeah. And then how about why? The tree that about to have a full pictures of plant, a lot of plants. These kinds, right? It gonna be hutan hujan tropika. All right, yeah. Now, so let's come back here. See, what we have, okay? Nyatakan dua jenis akar yang tumbuh di X. What is the akar we have for X? Hutan paya mah. Akar jangka. And akar ceraca. Okay, akar jangka, akar ceraca. All right. Now, easy question will came with this. Jelaskan faktor yang mempengaruhi pertumbuhan hutan Y. This is hard. Paya air masin. Okay, never mind. I think I have a mistake in the class. So let me just declare a little bit. Hutan paya air masin with paya. Right? If they show you the tree with this, yeah, very bad drawing. If you see all these tree, hutan paya, air tawa, this is paya masin. Paya air masin, ya. All right. Now, here, jelaskan faktor. What's the factor? What's the factors? Yeah. Now, see. How many factors we have learned? Same with your chapter 3. There's always 4 factors, which is bentuk muka bumi, saliran, iklim, and tani. So, look at it. I draw it at the side, yeah? You have 4. Bentuk muka bumi, saliran, iklim, and also tani. All right. So you have to explain a little bit. Think of it. Rainforest. Rainforest, we have tanah tinggi, tanah pama, right? Tanah tinggi, tanah pama, pinggir laut. So hutan hujan tropika belong to which one? Tinggi pama or pinggir laut? Definitely. It gonna be tanah pama. Yeah. Right? And then ask yourself, saliran, we learn about 2, right? Bayi or buruk. So you must be very familiar about the point. Definitely gonna be bayi, right? Iklim. All these are in Malaysia. Question tell you in the very beginning, Malaysia. Malaysia, iklim, katulistiwa. Then what is the tani? Oh, this is rainforest. So alluvium and laterite. Now, how you gonna fit your answer? You need 3 answers, right? You need 3 answers, yeah? Let me just show you the answer, okay? So you got to make all these answers into your sentence, yeah? Yeah. Give me a second. So your answer gonna be look like this, okay? You just put them into a paragraph with it. Of course, 3 is enough. No need to write everything. Okay, means among this answer, pick 3 of them. All right. Now, so you're going to say, Malaysia terletak di, no, I just said you pick 3 of them, right? Sorry, di kawasan beriklim. All right, so we receive a lot of sunlight. Basically, this is the Huraian, right? And then, yeah, we have a lot of rain, we have Tanah Pama, we have Tani. This is how they have the answer. Now, other than this, normally they will follow by what? Tani. Sorry, kepentingan. Let me know if you're done, then I move on to kepentingan. The rest, are you good? Or you already lost? You are fine? Lost. Now, and then the next question they might ask is this. Uraikan kepentingan hutan Y. Read complete sentence, ya. Kepentingan, yeah. We learn what? Oh, kawasan tahan hujan, habitat, keseimbangan ekosistem. And then sumber bahan mentah, perubatan, right? Yes, because they say pembangunan ekonomi. Whenever they tell you pembangunan ekonomi, whenever they tell you kepada manusia, terhadap manusia, ekonomi, then your marks will be, your explanation should be surround these two things. Bahan mentah and perubatan. Okay? Now, if you explain bahan mentah, then talk about it. Bahan mentah, example, what kind of resources from the forest can menjadi bahan mentah? Example, we do have kayu bala, we have kayu bakau, we have rotan, we have buru, and it can do what? It can make perabot, it can do craft tangan, and then the export ke negara lain, right? You can actually sell it to others country to get money. Okay, to get money. There are scribed question in the exam. Actually, for Form 3, like I couldn't say it's a K-BAT question. I mean, not really K-BAT, but they will twist and turn the questions. Like make you feel like you didn't learn before. Right? Means they don't ask very directly like huraikan kepentingan. Alright? They might ask you in this. Jelaskan aktiviti manusia yang memusnahkan tumbuh-tumbuhan. Maybe you would think this is a K part because you only learn the kesan. They didn't tell you the activity. So you need to twist your explain a little bit. So I show you the donkey first, yeah? Donkey said, you gotta say that first. First point is you tell me bahan mentah. 3 marks, yeah? 3 marks means you're gonna give me 1 point, 1 huraian, 1 contoh. Then it's enough. So your answer is gonna look like this. You tell me that kepentingan tumbuh-tumbuhan sebagai bahan mentah. Alright, so you can say lah hutan hujan tropika membekalkan sumber kayu balak. Seperti, you can say lah seperti pokok cengah, pokok meranti. Okay, untuk pasaran antarabangsa or untuk mengekspor ke negara lain. Okay, contohnya bahan mentah dapat digunakan untuk membuat perabot. Alright, and still alive. I hope you are good. Yep. This is how the questions answer, like how you answer the questions. And followed by this, like just now I said, it's not a K-BAT, but they twist. They turn the way of asking. They say, jelaskan aktiviti manusia yang memusnahkan tumbuh-tumbuhan. Right? But yeah, you don't learn this directly, but you learn kesan negative. And in the kesan negative, they told you, right? We have what happened? We have kepupusan, right? We have ketidakseimbang. Oh, of course, sure. Wait, right? You learn that the kesan is kepupusan. Then you need to think of it. Previously, you learned it in your huraian, but now you got to make it into your main point, which is because we do pembalakan, we do penyahutanan, we penerokaan hutan, and causes what happened? And causes animal lost their shelter, then lead to kepupusan flora dan fauna, right? It's not really K-BAT, but in your textbook, it's shown like this. You learn the kesan, and then you tell the activity, right? You learn the kesan, and then you explain, okay, the activity, like what we do, the activity, right? You learn in this way. But now they expect you to turn your mindset and go explain oppositely. All right. So same, yeah. Because penerokaan hutan secara besar-besaran causes they lost their shelter, they lost the food, and then lead to tidak kepupusan flora dan fauna. All right. And this is 4 marks, right? 4 marks means you may write 2 points, 2 huraian. Now, I give you the contoh jawaban, but later I will write some extra for you. The example, they give you three example here lah. This is the example question, answer. You can also get this answer in the website, already in the website. I share them since 2 weeks ago, so I think already in the website. Like I said, you can tell in this way. Oh, because penerokaan hutan secara tidak terkawal, tidak terancang, no planning. Alright, this is the activity. This is the point, ya. And then you can say menyebabkan, okay, kehilangan habitat. Dan sumber makanan. Alright. And then lead to kepupusan flora dan fauna. Alright. And here they give you like example, we do pembalakan. So we deforest for pembangunan infrastructure and causes, okay, we build the highway and so on. Of course, you can also, if you don't write the second huraian, you can say, we lead to hakisan tanah. We lead to kawasan dataran hujan terganggu. We lead to ketidakimbangan ecosystem. Alright? Can? Now, of course, yeah, like pengkuarian, you don't learn pengkuarian in your chapter 4, right? And also pertanian. Pertanian, you have slightly mentioned. This is actually borrow the answer from chapter 5. So after that, for your second term or the third term or the final term, they will your point, right, can be shared. The point is actually you can share and use in others chapter as well. Don't worry. All right. Are you still alive? Now, and then you see donkey will be pretty straightforward because they say terangkan kesan positif kegiatan manusia. And we learn 4. Do we need to explain all 4? No. Almost GG. Don't GG first. 6 marks. 6 marks means 2.2 3.3 huraian or 2.2 huraian, 2 contoh. All right. Then what have you done? We did what? We set up Taman Negara. Okay, and the keyword for Taman Negara is what? We set up Taman Negara is to mengkekalkan biodiversity. All right. And then, other than that, we have what? Hutan simpanan. We have pembangunan hutan. We have perhutanan semula. Right? The keyword for that is perhutanan semula is to memelihara hutan. All right. Let me give you the example, yeah. Right, this is the first part of answers, and this is the next part of answer. Okay. Now, here, yeah. But let me change this. I think this is not very suitable. Now, menanam pokok yang tahan sebarang penyakit. You need to copy. For which one? This one, if you don't want to copy, you will get the answer in the TTC website. The one that I write using my hand means not inside. You need to write. Okay. The B questions. This part no need to copy. But the one that I'm writing now, you need to copy because it's not in your answer sheet. Alright. Now, kesan positif, like I said, you can say, oh, kesan positif kegiatan manusia ialah pembangunan hutan. Right? What is the pembangunan hutan? You can say, oh, program ladang hutan dijalankan, right? Dijalankan untuk memastikan ketersediaan perterusan sumber bahan mentah. Alright. For the second huraian, up to you if you want or not. Right? And then selain itu, penanaman semula hutan atau perhutanan semula or penghutanan semula. In your textbook is use the word penghutanan semula. Right? You can say iaitu menanam pokok yang tahan serangan penyakit di hutan yang telah ditebang. Okay? And then if you want to further, you can say untuk memulihara hutan. Alright. Other than that, we have what? You can say, oh, we can penubuhan taman negara. Okay, but for myself, if the question no, they didn't particularly mention these two, right? My favorite is to write this taman negara because it's not only applicable in, this answer is not only applicable in chapter 4, even in chapter 3, even in chapter 5, chapter 8. Like they ask you how you protect the plants, how you protect the forest, how you protect the animals, or what is the good effects. It's all Taman Negara. All right. Then you can say penubuhan Taman Negara. All right. So after that, you can say for what? Okay. Untuk to maintain, untuk mengkekalkan biodiversity. Untuk mengkekalkan biodiversity. Right? So you can say, Taman Negara juga akan menjadi kawasan pelancongan. Menjadi kawasan pelancongan. Alright? Now, and then the next one that you can also say is what? Mengkekal or menetapkan. Let me just complete this, ya. Menetapkan hutan simpan kekal. Permanent reserve. Okay? Now, you can say, iaitu kawasan sensitif alam sekitar. Alright, which is hutan yang penting dan berharga, bernilai tinggi. Is it okay? Now, this is your chapter 3 and chapter 4 roughly lah. Alright. Now, if your exam to chapter 5, there is chapter 5 example question in it as well. Alright, you may try it out. Alright, and yeah. Alright. So I think I would like to stop here.